Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So, welcome to another market open stream today. Not looking so good. It does seem like we have a lot of red to start out the day. So, what's causing the dumps? Let's talk about it. And let's talk about what may stop this. All right, let's do it, guys. Welcome. As we are starting out, we're right around 111.6, which actually is a little bit of a recovery from this 110.8 we were just at. So obviously not a good day. And yesterday we went all the way back to 114. And then we started seeing weakness. And alts in particular today, not having it. ETH is below 4,000 once again. Sol is right at 200. It was below 200. Even a high flyer like Aster fell down nearly 20% from its 240 yesterday, down below $2. So today, not off to a great start. No, a lot of red. And the US stock market is red. As you can see, red all around. You have headlines like Starbucks to close stores, lay off workers in a $1 billion restructuring. When Starbucks is having problems, you know that the economy is not doing well. Jobless claims also tumbled. But I don't think this is the reason why we're actually going down today, because jobless claims going down, it's close to estimates. So this is not the big thing, although it does show that obviously people out of job is still going up. But I think what wasn't reported on CNBC, I had to find on Yahoo Finance, was this. Today, GDP numbers also came out, okay? And it showed that the U.S. economy grew at a surprising 3.8% pace in Q2. Now, Q1, we actually had a really significant shrinkage, and we picked it up in Q2. So why this is not a good thing? I mean, this grew at an enormous pace. Why this is not a good thing? Because this counteracts everything else that we've been seeing about slow growth, people, not being able to find a job, unemployment going up. Well, this entirely goes against all of that, which is why now looking at the next few FOMC meetings, unfortunately, the percentages dropped. Now, in October, right now, it's still a lock. Okay, 83% to 16%. But December, now we dropped down to 61% for that next rate cut. This was a lock at like 80-something%. So these percentages went down. So I think today the markets are spooked by this growth of GDP, right? Which, if you think about, is actually good for the country, but it's just not good right now because Wall Street's just very fearful about the Fed and Powell and rate cuts and so forth. So that's what's going on right now. There could be other things, but I can't find anything that makes sense that would cause a huge drop in everything. And tomorrow, we do have a PCE report too. So that could also move things. If somehow inflation ticks up crazily, it's not going to be a good thing for markets. But if it stays in line or goes below, it'll be good. I guess we'll have to see, right? And also, there may be more tariffs coming as administration is looking at imports of robotics, and there may be more tariffs on robotics that are being imported, industrial machinery, medical devices, and so forth. So this also doesn't help things. All right. Now, that's all the bad. What about the good? Well, yesterday, we still had a very large inflow day for Bitcoin, 241 million. So it's not like this is a trend. We have some bad days of outflow, but primarily still mostly green days, or inflow days, I should say. So BlackRock yesterday bought 129 million, and so did the other funds. So that's a good thing. It's a very good thing. And you may be wondering, well, if that's the case, why are we still not moving? Why are the ETFs not making a dent? Right? Well, it does over time. I mean, we know that. Otherwise, Bitcoin wouldn't be above 100,000 right now. Obviously, there's a set supply, and ETFs taking the supply away is going to cause movement, right? But it takes time. But there's something else that's interesting, because yesterday I showed a chart that showed that Bitcoin and the global M2 money supply, there's a big gap, and how Bitcoin's not following it recently, right? Raoul Pal actually has a theory about that, saying that it has to do with the US Treasury and this account that they have that was basically zero, and the US government needed to issue a lot of bonds to fill it. I don't know how that really relates to why Bitcoin has deviated from M2 money supply, but he says we're back on track. And there are times where we do deviate. There's a gap. That's why they say there's a 90 to 100 day difference, right? But it's an interesting theory. I haven't heard anyone else talk about it. This is big. This is good news. Google is going to buy a stake in the Bitcoin mining company Cypher Mining. So it does show that the big tech companies, they're thinking about it. They're definitely thinking about how to enter the space. In this case, Google is going into mining. It could also be because they're trying to use that for AI, now that I'm thinking about it, because these mining companies have a whole lot of infrastructure. But we do still have big companies that are trying to figure out how to best get into this space, either through investments or partnerships, or coming out their own blockchain or something else, right? So that's pretty big. Also, let's not forget that last year, I've been mentioning this, last year we had a good September, but it wasn't always good. And it's the same with October. Last year, October turned out to be a pretty good month, but it wasn't always like that. There were still times when Bitcoin went down. There's volatile moments. And you know what? Last September, we also had rate cut. It was a 50 basis points, if you guys remember. And right afterwards, Bitcoin actually dumped down about 7% before heading higher, before doubling within the next few months, right? So if you're looking at a pattern, it looks pretty similar. Maybe this is planned all along, right before the next big leg up at the end of this year. Also, if you're looking at more short term, right, this is looking at an inverse head and shoulders, as long as, according to Ali, that we hold $111,000. But others like Bollinger Bands, we're seeing a huge squeeze right now. Normally speaking, when you do see a squeeze, there is something big that's about to happen. And that big could be this, right? The last few months, October, November, December, just like last year and just like previous years, the last few months of a 4-year cycle is the craziest months. And we're about to enter that. And we got monetary policy that can definitely help as well with the rate cuts. So we'll see. We will see where this takes us. Outside of Bitcoin, what else? Ethereum. Vitalik is saying this upgrade Fusaka will fix Ethereum scalability issue. The reason why Ethereum is slow is because every single node on the network needs to download the entire blockchain basically for verification. And he wants to fix that. He wants to make sure, he wants to upgrade it so that not every node needs to do that. It's really inefficient, let's say, right? But we've been hearing about how Ethereum's going to fix their scalability issues since 2017. And it's been 8 years now. So let's see when this is actually going to happen, right? This is the reason why we have a lot of EVM-based L2s to help with scaling, but also why we have so many other L1s, because they can scale, right? But we'll see if he can fix it. Ethereum is still a powerhouse, right? Whales continue to accumulate as wallets receive 1.19 billion in ETH. I think a lot of it has to do with these treasury companies now, like Bitminer and others that are loading up. SharpLink is another one. Actually, this is Joseph Dubbin's company. He's a co-founder in Ethereum. And they have 500 million unrealized profits, right? So you have a lot of these treasury companies that are loading up on ETH right now. And that's probably the reason why exchange reserves for ETH has also dropped 20% since July, the lowest level since 2016. Interesting. So it's not just Bitcoin reserves going down, also many others like ETH. All right, what else is there? BNB. BNB made an all-time high, actually a few all-time highs recently. People started paying attention to BNB once again. This is a project obviously backed by Binance, if you're not aware. And there's a lot of activity going on, mostly because of one project, and that's Aster, right? And they're trying to do a whole lot with it. The thing is, you know, accelerating Aster is actually taking power away from Binance. But regardless, it's all in the same ecosystem, so they don't really care. But it's gotten a lot of attention, that's for sure. That's why activity, volume, and everything else is sky high right now. So good for them. Last thing is SEC approves Hashdex crypto index ETF with XRP, Solana, Stellar. We're getting a lot more applicants for bucket type ETFs that may be coming out in November and maybe even sooner. That approval may come in October. We got the individual ones like XRP, Solana, Stellar, and then we got like AVAX and SUI and others. But soon we'll have these big bucketful ones too, which just makes it easier for investors to come in. All right, guys, that is pretty much it. Let's see. While I've been talking, Bitcoin has not been doing well. It went down even further, 110.6. Today is just one of those days, guys. It's just one of those days. I think the GDP report really kind of scared Wall Street a little bit. You could see minus 300 for NASDAQ. You got crypto companies like Hut and Riot down 7%. MicroStrategy down 5.5%. Robinhood down 4.8%. So a big tech dump right now too. All right, let's do some Q&A. I saw something, H-bar bean. George, I told my friends to buy Shiba, and now they're down thousands. They're pissed off. What do I do? Well, first of all, I don't know why you told them to buy Shiba when you could have told them to buy Clash, for example. Clash is still up 150% today. It's the one that's outperforming everything. Yeah, yesterday we had a really good run, and it is doing very well. In fact, at night, it almost hit 3 million. Right now, it's holding at 2 million. I do have a couple things to tell you guys that relate to Clash. Number one is the tournament that's tomorrow. Okay, last week I held a prize tournament. This week I'm holding one that's even bigger, but there is a change. Okay, anyone is free to join, free to play. So what I'm going to do is post a link like last time on socials and Discord first, and I'll put it in the form as well. You need to figure it out. You need to join, I mean. The prizes are even bigger. First place wins 3 SOL, right? So it was $750, now it's $600. First place go win $600. Second place wins 1.5 SOL. Third place 1 SOL. Fourth to 10th place 0.1 SOL. And I'll be doing giveaways. I'll actually do a giveaway today as well. But the only caveat is you got to hold some Clash, okay? Because the whole point of this is to grow the ecosystem, right? So you have to hold at least 100,000 Clash, which actually I lowered by quite a lot because a lot of you guys know I've been doing giveaways with this form, which stated you need to have 500,000 Clash. But since Clash has gone up so much, I've lowered that down to 100,000 Clash, which is like, I don't know, less than $100 worth, right? So these two forms are in the description of this video. If you want to just be eligible for airdrops, now the response is up to 178. So we got a good amount of people now that have finally filled it out. Make sure you do so. But you got to hold some Clash. But tomorrow's tournament will be big because of the partnership I formed with Stray Dog. I think their community members are excited. They'll be joining in. We're getting traditional Clash people and some, I think, getting some attention from some of the regular influencers. You know, we're going to make this big. So this is tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Fill out the form. Even if you don't fill it out, you could join. Like I said, it's free to join for everyone, but you're just not going to be eligible for prizes. We bounced back to 110, 111, I mean. This is all the addresses here. There's too many addresses there. At some point, I don't know if this could actually hold all the addresses. I may have to like divide it up. Lovebug, it's basically a Soul wallet with some Clash in it. That's what it is. Okay, so this is the winner for today. Because today is a bad day, I will be generous. I will send 0.5 Soul. So let's see if this guy actually does have at least 100,000 Clash. For the most part, I think most people do because a lot of people got in very early. Yeah, this guy's a whale. This guy is a damn whale. He has 26 million worth of Clash. That's 54K worth. This guy, because he has so much, I'm going to double it. I'm just going to send him 1 SOL. So, to thank him. So that, good, you know, gotta reward the strong community members. All right, so this person's going to win 1 SOL. I'll send it to him after this video, after the stream. Existing home sales stall in August amid higher mortgage rates. Well, that's good. Because we don't want more data that shows, well, existing home sales like skyrockets in August. That would be bad. That would be really, really bad. I think the GDP report really screwed things up today. But it's not in a way that's bad for the economy, but it's just going against everything else that we are seeing. Casey, did you not watch my video last night or follow me on X? Stray Dog is another meme coin project. They've been doing very well. They formed, actually, someone mentioned Shiba. They formed a partnership with Shiba because they create all these tools that they're going to use. But they have, you know, they have a really good community. So we partner up with them to kind of grow both of our communities. Why am I focusing on class so much? Because, you know, I'm trying to build it. I'm trying to prove that you can build a really good community around a meme and not have it be a rug. And I think I'm doing that right now. It's been like a little bit over a week, and we're definitely seeing a lot of good growth, and people enjoy it. So I'm going to set a trend. If you look at all the other streaming coins on Pump.Fun right now, not one of them is doing good. Every single one debuted up and then immediately dumps down. Even Alex Becker's coin went up, down. Every single streamer coin down. I could probably say Clash is the only Pump.Fun streaming coin that went sideways and then up. I don't think there's another one. And I've been trying to ask them to highlight on their page. So I'm going to set an example, and I'm going to prove everyone that you can do it, and then you go see other people are going to copy the idea. Clash is my creation, love bug. Yesterday we had boot camp also in Discord. The very first day, first day. You could still join. You could still join boot camp. Okay. Today for the second session at 5 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Central. So it's not too late to go in and learn how to read charts and trade. Every time we have it, really good turnout. People love it. People love interacting with Tyler, who's a really good TA analyst. So make sure if you want to learn, join Discord and join up. same person posted this. It's a huge list, but the main thing is the top ones. So Bitcoin at 56%, XRP at 13%, Solana at 12%, Ethereum at 11%, and then you got a whole bunch of others. I mean, that's pretty normal. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a solid portfolio. And then here's some stocks. NVIDIA, Rocket Lab, GoTo, Rocket Companies. I mean, I only know of like 2 of these companies. Gap. The only thing in there that I would hold, and I do personally hold, is NVIDIA. That's the only one. All the other ones, you know, I don't really care about. Lovebug, yeah, it's in the form. Everything is in the form, which is in the description. It explains everything. It tells you where to go, where to watch the streams, where to buy, where, you know, all the rules. It's all in the form. The giveaway form that I just used to give out 1 soul. Robinhood stock went up 500% in a year. Yeah, that's why I made a lot of money with Robinhood. I've been playing options on Robinhood, and they've just been killing it. You can see this growth trajectory from April is insane. From $30 down to up to 120. It was at 120, almost 130 yesterday. They still haven't climbed back above this trend line. Once they do, it'll be like even more bullish. And they made the S&P 500 too, which is a big accomplishment. Whoa. Clash at 2.6 now. I'll tell you, all the community members in Discord, the ones that start watching me from day one and load it up, man, they're up like 50x right now. I was calculating just for fun. There is someone in here that bought very early. This person right here. He probably only spent like $2,000 or $3,000, okay, to buy 5% of the entire supply. When I first released it, and it was like only 40K market cap, 50K market cap, that guy's like 2 or 3 grand is now worth 132 grand. And he hasn't touched it, not one clash. So congratulations to him, but so many others, same thing. Yesterday we briefly touched upon 3 million, came back down. We're getting closer now, 2.6, 2.7 million. It's the only Pump.Fun live streaming coin that is actually gaining momentum. You could go look at everything else. Everything else is immediate pump dump for everyone else. Because no one is building a community like I am. These tournaments are going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And all the kids, they're all playing this game. This is like the most viral game right now. No, Chuck, you can hold it on any wallet, any Sol wallet. Phantom, I love Phantom. So Phantom is a good one. Trust Wallet, I'm pretty sure it works. It supports Sol. Sol, unfortunately, had a big dump. Like, It was at 240. No, 250. Just a week ago. And if about, I don't know why I can't talk today, fell down to 200. And this is the same level as the beginning of September. So we reset to the beginning like a few weeks ago. It would have been nice if we, I feel like I need to sneeze, but I'm not sneezing. It would have been nice if we could hold above this, 219 and bounce off of there, or just like hold there as a support, but we broke through, unfortunately. Franken says, I can't watch crypto anymore. I will unplug and come back in 10 years when I be rich. Hey, if you could fall in a coma or just forget for 10 years and you come back, you will definitely be rich. Okay, but for most people, they just can't do that. I told you guys a story back in 2017 when I came back into crypto. Bitcoin's around $1,000. I got my mom into it. And then she told all of her friends. Of course, back in 2017, no one really wanted to listen. Especially 2017, no one heard of Bitcoin. She actually convinced one of her friends to put in like 1,000 or 1,500. Open up a Coinbase account. She bought one Bitcoin. Did not look at it at all until last year. So 7 years, right? 7 years where she completely forgot she had it. And then she saw the headline that Bitcoin went to 100,000. And that's when she went back. She had to work with Coinbase to like get everything reset and stuff. So she made like 100x just by forgetting about it for 7 years. So if you could do that, that's the best. Because if you actually watch Bitcoin from 2017 all the way, where it was 1,000, went to 20,000, went down to 3,000, went up to, back up to 50,000, 69,000, then went down to 16,000 and went up. Like, if you were actively watching for a general retail person, they probably would have sold. They would not have held on to it. But because they just did not remember, did not make any moves, they made that 100x. Oh man, we're at 3 million. $2.8. It was at 3. It was all-time high right here, 3.3 million. So if you guys don't play the game, it doesn't matter. It's for fun. Download it. It's a free game to download on iOS or Android called Clash Royale. If you have kids, it's a great thing to bond with your kids because I guarantee you if you have young kids, they're playing it. Every single young kid on the planet is playing this game. And even yesterday at Costco, I was sitting there and behind me we had these teenagers, like 3 teenagers there at Costco. I don't know why. And they're all playing it. This is like the hottest game there is right now. It's a good way to bond with your kids. This is the one thing that I do with my kids because they're really addicted to it. But it's a time waster. But you can make it into not a time waster. You can join these tournaments and try and win prizes or just giveaways. The one. What else do you want me to talk about today? I'm talking about the one good thing that's happening right now. What else do you want me to talk about? You ask me questions like, we're dumping today. Are we going to get a reversal today? No. Why are we dumping? Because of good GDP numbers. What else do you want to talk about? I don't think people realize when you have to fill time with Q&A. I think I'm the only one that really does this. Sometimes there's just not a whole lot of conversation that goes on. I have to make the conversation. I have to. That's why I talk about random stuff, like random stuff with AI or aliens or cars. There's only so much you can talk about every single day. Yes, let's talk about WNBA playoffs. Oh man. Um, what else is going on? There's a few shows that came back. Tulsa King came back. That is a really good show. So I'm looking forward to it. I think there's only been one episode. And Gen V season 2 came out on Prime. That's a precursor to the final season of The Boys, which is one of the best shows ever. Those are two shows that I enjoy watching. I don't think there's anything else. Lazaro, I hope it doesn't disappoint. Just remember, it's a long-term play. Someone asked about CMC. Yeah, I'm trying to get that going. Stallone's character in Tulsa King is like the best. You figure it would have been done already, to have like kind of like that kind of storyline, but I guess not, or I'm not aware of it. But it's awesome. It's a really good show. But there's always like new villains that come out of nowhere. Oh, I sit outside the camera. Yeah, it's this position. I'm crossing my leg, and it's hard to do in this position. Oh, Peacemaker came out too. Peacemaker, but I'm not liking the Peacemaker season 2 right now. It lost some of its spark. Season 1 was so unpredictable and so wild because they made the character such a goofball. Season 2, it's like a very depressing. It's showing him and his horrible life and how he wants to go to this other life, and it's not the same vibe at all. I still enjoy it, but it's definitely a different vibe. It's not as enjoyable as the first season. Oh man, we're at 3.1 million. 281% in the last 24 hours. Now we got over 700 holders now. And then they introduced the guy who killed Rick's dad. Like all of a sudden, like it's just weird. I think they don't know how to continue this show. And then they had to introduce the Justice Gang because in the first season they introduced the Justice League, and because DC now reset everything, they introduced like the Justice Gang people in there, which no one cares about. No one cares about the new Hawkgirl or the new Green Lantern. So I don't like that either. They like rewrote the whole thing around that. Yeah. I don't particularly like the new Superman either. Um, I mean, I saw the new Superman movie. I thought it was okay. I was excited to see it, but I don't particularly like the new direction. It's like, it's like more like showing him trying to fit in as a human or whatever. And he certainly wasn't OP. I prefer the old Superman, the Henry Cavill Superman movies much better. The Penguin was good. I hated the ending, but it was super good. They actually made the Penguin a really good show. I don't know how they go line up the storylines though, because between the Batman movie, I think the Penguin took place before the Batman movie, and in the Batman movie, he's still like a low level guy. So I don't know how that's gonna work. G7. I have pretty much been streaming every day on Pump at 8 p.m. Right after I put on my crypto video, right around 7:30, I take a little break and go stream on Pump, and also on my I Am George channel. So I dual stream, and it's more relaxed. It's like I don't have a whole bunch of things to show you guys. Just me gameplaying and just answering questions. And before I was streaming music, but I can't do that because on YouTube they'll just like kill the stream, even though it's not monetized. I don't have any thoughts about Pengu. Your night video has been weirdly blinking. I don't know. Someone told me that mobile's fine, but somehow on desktop is blinking. I have no idea why. I just record on my phone and upload it straight from my phone. I don't know why it has been. I actually don't like the new Batman either. You know, they're trying to make it a darker Batman, but it's a PG-13 movie. So how dark can it be? There was only one good scene in the Batman movie where he was just beating this guy, this gangster guy in the train station, but that's it. All the other parts were too long, too boring. I don't like the new Batman either. Ben Affleck's Batman is fine. I think like people didn't like it, but the last generation of DC stuff with, you know, the Justice League or Batman vs Superman and stuff like that. If you think about it, you look back, at the time they weren't popular, but those films are pretty good versus what's now out there now. Sam YT, make Clash of Clans tournament. I'm not into Clash of Clans. Maybe if I do get into it, I know a lot of people do play it too, but it's a different style game and I'm just not in it yet. It takes me a while to warm up to something. Is Clash listed on Mexi? No, it's not on any centralized exchanges. You have to get it on Jupiter, or you could get it straight on Pump.fund. They have integrated DEX, or you could go to Radium, any of the Sol-based DEXs, and you just had to put in the contract address. SoulFlow Angler, what are your thoughts on the maturity of debt with U.S. debt maturing at a longer time, 5 years as opposed to 4 years? Raoul Pal touched upon this. Yeah, you know, I covered something about that. He also said those bonds were the reason why Bitcoin has broken away from the M2 money supply because there's a big gap now. And he said something about the U.S. Treasury account and something with the bonds, and it needed to be replaced, the general account, and that's why. I think a lot of it does have to do with macro stuff. I may not understand the direct connect, but it makes a lot of sense. because now Bitcoin is really tied into Wall Street because of the ETFs and all the regulations around it. There's a close, deep connection. And if you look at a lot of tech companies, besides if you remove just the high-flying ones, in general, most of the tech companies have not been doing well either. A lot of companies in general have been struggling. Just like a few of them that's involved with AI or something like that have been blowing up, but everything else have been kind of stagnant. What is WAP? WAP is just a way for you to join Discord. That's it. You just have to create an account. You go in, you can join Discord with it. The link is in there. Also, if you're clipping, if you're helping me clip, it's on WAP as well. It's like another version of Patreon, basically. A lot of people use it for subscription stuff. So mine is just free. I'm out of coffee. Christian Bale was a good Batman. Ben Affleck's Batman was good. But yeah, I'm not a fan of this new Batman. We're recovering slightly, ever so slight. Is WAP necessary to join the tournament? No. I'll be posting a link on X and in Discord. But you need to, if you want to join Discord, you should go through WAP. Or you could go through this link here. Like on the giveaway form, actually I have a Discord link. This one actually bypasses WAP and goes straight to the Clash Royale channel. So that's where everything happens first. I better put down this address before I forget about it. It's going to be a win in one soul. But a lot of very active people in Discord, especially for Clash now. So very vibrant. People are super excited about the tournaments, giveaways, helping spread the word. There's people that are, doing their thing on socials. I see a lot of people adding to the LP now. It's turned out to be a really good community. And it's only been a week and a half. It's not even 2 weeks yet. All right, guys, I'll let you guys go. Overall today, a red day. That's because, I think because of GDP number coming in at a surprising pace is screwing things up. And rate percentage actually went down because of it. I guess we'll have to hang tight for tomorrow. We have a big inflation report tomorrow, so we'll see what happens there. But don't be discouraged, guys. I know this kind of set us back, but hey, we have seen this many, many, many times throughout this year and last year, and we always recover, and we will recover from this as well. So smash a like, subscribe to the channel, guys. Have a good one. Take care.